the status of extending the Iran ceasefire, Karoline?
Yes, so I saw some reporting, again, bad reporting this morning, that we had formally requested an extension of the ceasefire. That is not true at this moment. We've remained very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the Vice President directly and the President this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now. I've also seen some reporting about the potentiality for in-person discussions again. Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal. The President mentioned that in his interview yesterday, and it's obviously in the best interest of Iran to meet the President's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear to the other side, and so we are continuing to see how these conversations go.
Would those talks be in Islamabad, or where would they be the next round?
They would very likely be in the same place as they were last time, yes. With the same, I would just want to make one point that's important to the President. The Pakistanis have been incredible mediators throughout this process, and we really appreciate their friendship and their efforts to bring this deal to a close. So they are the only mediator in this negotiation. While there have been many countries around the world who want to offer their help, the President feels it's important to continue to streamline this communication through the Pakistanis, and so that's what continues to take place.
Mr. Secretary, you were quoted as saying in an interview earlier this week that it was worth a bit of economic pain for international security. Is that this administration's message to American voters with high gas prices that ahead of the midterms this year that it's worth the economic pain?
Well, the message is the short-term volatility for long-term gain.
And Danny, if I could add to that, you know, the President's been very clear, again, as the Secretary just said, this is a short-term disruption for the long-term strategic goal of the United States to ensure that the world's leading state sponsor of terror cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. That's a good thing for the American people. That's a good thing for people all over the world. And as the President and his economic and energy team have repeatedly stated, as soon as the operation and now the negotiations with Iran conclude and the Strait is reopened, we do expect gas prices to decrease. And thank goodness we have a President and an administration that believes in American energy dominance in bringing down prices at the pump. Look at how gas prices decreased over the past year since this President was in office. It's a stark contrast to the previous administration and Democrats in this city who believe in hampering our domestic energy industry, who believe in importing our most precious resources, who believe in implementing policies that created the worst inflation crisis in history. So President Trump has built the greatest economy in the world before. He is doing it again. Of course, we have this short-term disruption, but again, it's for the long-term strategic goal of ensuring that these terrorists cannot possess a nuclear bomb.
On Iran,
Secretary,
is there a timeline
you were quoted as
for
saying
how
in an
long
interview
this
earlier this
blockade
week
is
that it
going
was
to
worth a bit
be
of
placed in
economic
some
pain
by
for
the
international
United States,
security?
that President
Is
Trump
that
is voicing
this administration's
for,
message to American voters with high gas prices that
I will
ahead
never
of the
set
midterms this
timelines
year
on
that it's
behalf
worth
of
the
the
economic
President of
pain?
the United
Well,
States, but
the
with
message
respect to the blockade,
is
as you know, it has been fully
short-term volatility
implemented,
for long-term
and it's
gain.
being enforced against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports. I want to make that point clear. I've seen some misreporting on that as well. This includes all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. And our U.S. forces in the region are supporting the freedom of navigation for vessels that are transiting the Strait to and from non-Iranian ports. So that's a good thing. I know some in the press were confused about that. We are supporting the freedom of navigation, just not with respect to any tanker or vessel that would benefit the economy of Iran as these negotiations with Iran
on Iran, is there a
timeline
for how long this blockade is going to
decrease? And thank goodness we have a President and an administration that believes in American energy dominance in bringing down prices at the pump. Look at how I will never set timelines on behalf of the President of the United States, but with respect to the blockade, it's a stark contrast to the previous administration and Democrats in the city, and it's being enforced against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports. I want to make that point clear. I've seen some misreporting on that as well. This includes all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. And our U.S. forces in the region are supporting the freedom of navigation for vessels that are transiting the Strait to and from non-Iranian ports. So I know some in the press were confused about that. We are supporting the freedom of navigation.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.